We're on lesson 4 of chapter 6, which is percent of change. First, we're going to find percent of change, then we'll use percent of change, and then we'll solve a real-world problem. Often changes in amounts are given in percents. Often you'll see this at stores, decreased by 50%. Or if you're a seller, you usually increase your prices by 50% to make a profit. So how is that calculated? Well, if you think about this, for example, we have this half of a pie here. If I wanted to increase that pie by 50%, 50% would be 1/2. So if I were to find 1/2 of the pie, which would be right about here, if I added this 1/2 to the total, that would be an increase of 50% because I added a half of the existing pie to the new total. We can also decrease by 50% as well. So 50% of this pie is right here. If I took that off, then I would have decreased my amount by 50%, or decreased the amount of pie by half. There is a formula to solve these things. There's the percent of change, and that equals the amount of change divided by the original amount. And we're going to be using that formula to solve these problems. It says find each percent of change, round answers to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. So we have 27 is decreased to 20. So if we use our formula here, we need to find the percent of change, and that's the amount of change over the original amount. So here we saw it went down from 27 to 20. That's a difference of 7. Then the original amount was the first one here because that's the one that got changed. So we would say 7 over 27. We'll do P for percent change equals 7 divided by 27. If we solve that, that would be 0.259. So we'll say 0.259 for our amount. So 0.259. Remember, this is in decimal form. This is not percents yet. So we need to turn this into a percent by moving that decimal over twice. So the percent change would be 25.9%. So here we would say it's a decrease of 25.9%. Here we have 32 is increased to 67. Let's look at our formula again. Percent of change equals the amount of change on top, the original amount on bottom. So the original amount on bottom is a 32. On top, it went up 35, so we're going to say 35. So 35 divided by 32. So we do 35 divided by 32, so it's 1.09375. So if we write that in there, 1.09375. Remember, we have to turn this from a decimal into a percent. So move that over twice. And that gives us 109.375. Remember, it says round to the nearest tenth, so we'll do 109.4. So we would say it was an increase of 109.4%. Now we're going to solve using the percent of change. So this is assuming that we already know the percent of change, so now we could just find new numbers using that. For example, the regular price of an MP3 player at TechSource is $79.99. This week the MP3 player is on sale for 25% off. What is the sale price? So for here, we're actually going to go away from the formula a little bit and just kind of use percentages and multiply. For example, all we need to do is take 25%, find out what 25% of $79.99 is, and then just take that off the price because it's on sale. So for this, we would do $79.99 times 25% and see what that equals. So on our calculator, we have $79.99 times, and I'm going to type in 0.25 since that's the same thing as 25%. And we get an answer of 19.997. If we're rounding to the nearest penny, which is this spot, we're actually going to be rounding that up, which actually turns this into $20. So 25% of $79.99 is $20. That's how much it's on sale. It's 25% off. That means $20 is going to go off the price. So then we just need to subtract 20 from $79.99. And that one is a problem we can probably do in our head because we just take 20 from 70. That's going to equal $59.99. Let's do this again with another one where the price goes up. So we're going to be given the percent of change again. A boutique buys hand-printed t-shirts for $12.60 each and sells them after a price increase of 110%. what is the retail price of the shirts? So the retail price is what we have to pay after the price goes up. So it's going to go up 110%. That's quite a ways to go up. So we need to find 110% of $12.60. And to do that, we would take $12.60 times 110%. And let's see what that equals. So here we have $12.60 times, now 110% is 1.10 in the decimal. So 110% of $12.60 is $13.86. So that's how much it went up. So if this was our starting amount and it went up this much, we would need to add those numbers together. So $12.60 plus 13.86, what does that equal? And that would be our price after the increase, the